Good morning, Truckee. If I can have your attention, please. We've got a packed program today. All right. My name is Raven Whittington. I'm an attorney with Porter Simon. I am the vice chair of the Chamber Board, and I am your MC this morning on this always well-attended ski resort update. These lovely ladies here are going to be telling us all about what's going on with all the snow we've got falling from the sky. So lots of preparation time still, a little bit different than last year as I recall. Before we start, we're going to go with our sponsors. So the presenting sponsor is Kelly Brothers Painting. The latte sponsors, Town of Truckee, East River PR, Tahoe Forest Healthcare System, Tahoe Mountain Realty, and Porter Simon. The cappuccino sponsors, Pacific Crest Wealth Planning, Mountain Hardware and Sports. The espresso sponsors, Tahoe Truckee Community Foundation, Got Dogs, JK Architecture Engineering, Wild and Rough, Mount Lincoln Construction, Auerbach Engineering Corporation, Dixon Realty Truckee Tahoe, and NV5, along with our media sponsors, Tahoe Truckee Media, 101.5 FM, Truckee Tahoe Radio, Sierra Sun, and Moonshine Inc. And we would like to thank Mountain Brew for the coffee this morning, getting you all ready for the day. They're going to be opening soon at the old 76 station, which is down there by the Donner Lake Interchange, whatever they're calling it these days, the new roundabout. And I believe they are going to be serving from a trailer starting this weekend from the location. So if you enjoy the coffee, you'll be able to find it in a definitive place starting this weekend. I'd like to thank our Good Morning Truckee committee, Jessica Penman, who's not able to be here this morning, Ruth Gearsey, Melissa Williams, and Marissa Yakitis, Kelly Cutler, Mayumi Peacock, Ernie Grossman, Gerald Herrick, Tony Lashbrook, Jim Porter, Deb Ryan, Ted Owens, Jess Carr, and thanks always to Rory, who's in the back room making this happen with Tahoe Truckee Media handling the AV, and the Town of Truckee for letting us have the room. Okay, now let's hear from you, which is all more important. Let's start here with Amy. Just give your quick introduction. We're going to go around the room.
Hi, good morning. Amy Oran, VP GM at Northstar, California.
Good morning, Dee Byrne, President COO of Palisades Tahoe.
And the third girl, Bridget from Sugar Bowl.
John, you can go.
John Slaughter, Executive Director of Marketing and Sales for Sugar Bowl.
Kathy Slocum, my business is Just Imagine Marketing and Design, and I'm starting my 13th year at Northstar as one of the race coaches.
Oh, I'm Alan. I'm Vice President of Just Imagine Marketing.
Mayumi Peacock, publisher owner of Moonshine Inc.
Hardy Bullock, District 5 Supervisor for Nevada County.
Taylor Harker with CC Media. Allie Hudson with CC Media.
Heather Schwartz, Program Manager, SOS Outreach.
Simon Guinness, Director of Program Services for Boys and Girls Club of North Lake Tahoe.
Maggie, and I manage mountain sports for the Boys and Girls Club.
Hi everybody, I'm Haley. I'm with the League to Save Lake Tahoe, and I'm our partnerships manager.
Kathleen Zamitis, Church of the Mountains.
John Zamitis, Church of the Mountains.
Vicky Parrish, Manager of US Bank in Truckee.
Good morning, folks. Kelly Cutler, Truckee Cultural District, Truckee Chamber of Commerce, and going into our night season at Sugar Bowl.
Gerald Herrick, Truckee Fire.
Amy?
Good morning, I'm Amy Schaller. I'm with the old Lumberyard New Project Downtown and Chamber Board.
Good morning, Laura Brown, Executive Director of the Excellence in Education Foundation.
Good morning, Kirsten Kramer, the Superintendent of Tahoe Truckee Unified School District.
Hello, Amanda Oberacker, Recreation Parks and Facility Manager for the North Tahoe PUD.
Hello, I'm Amber Burke. I'm the Coordinator of District Communications for the school district and also on the Truckee Chamber Board.
Good morning, Fred Safipour of Truckee Pickleball Club.
Susan Safapour, Truckee Pickleball Club, and one of Northstar's newest employees, because I'll be teaching skiing 2 days.
Hi, I'm Susan Jacobazzi, Love Your Five. I'm a communication and organizational culture coach.
Trina Gold, Big Water Content Innovation, Digital Marketing Agency.
Hello, good morning. Pastor David Gregory from Crosswinds Truckee Church.
John?
John Fagan, Dwayne Morris, and Special Counsel to Ski California.
And a mentor of Raven Whittington.
Jake Hudson, NV5, and Truckee River Watershed Council.
Desiree Vale with the Tahoe Star Hotel.
Hi, good morning. I'm Shannon Clapper with the Tahoe Star Hotel.
April Cole, Campaign Director for the Friends of the Truckee Library.
Denise Van Bee, Contractors Association, Truckee Tahoe.
Mike Lacey, PR Manager, Palisades Tahoe.
Jennifer Gallagher, JK Architecture Engineering. Colette Schunks, JK Architecture Engineering.
Chris Parker with Sugar Bowl Royal Gorge and Truckee Trails Foundation.
Good morning, Ann Driscoll, 49 Social Media Marketing.
Good morning, Brad Driscoll, Vice President of 49 Social Media Marketing.
Good morning, Scott Ferguson. I'm with Truckee Laundry, Truck Creek Outfitters, and I plow snow at Palisades Tahoe.
Jason?
Jason Hansford, board member for Truckee Donner Recreation Park District.
Dale Chamlin, Tahoe Forest Hospital District, and Adult Ski School at Palisades Tahoe.
John Zabriskie, Nevada County Transportation Commission, Nevada County Local Agency Formation Commission, and Truckee Town Council.
Good morning, I'm Michael Hunter, Program Director for Achieve Tahoe.
Good morning, I'm Hokan Langui, the Executive Director at Achieve Tahoe.
JD?
JD Haas, 101.5 Truckee Tahoe Radio, and JD Haas Hardwoods and Carpets downtown.
Heather Vasquez, Transportation Manager, Northstar.
Chris Tennant, Mount Lincoln Construction and Cat Board.
Amanda Tennant, Mount Lincoln Construction.
Stephen Bessick, Mount Lincoln Construction.
Bob?
Bob Womack, Town of Truckee Emergency Services.
Alfred Knotts, Town of Truckee Engineering and Public Works.
All the way in the back.
Jay Bria, Resident.
Jenny Kendrick with East River PR Marketing. Stacy Russell, Tahoe Supply Company.
Maria Lopez West Free Tahoe, and former Sustainability Manager for Northstar.
All right, well, thank you for all being here. And we've got, I forgot your
Karen Freestead, retired educator, Tahoe Truckee Unified School District, North Tahoe.
Kathy Bender, Global Notary and Truckee Sunrise Rotary.
Mandy Stewart, Analyst with Nevada County.
Jamie Haddad, Community Manager, Martis Camp.
Nicole Berry, NB5.
Okay.
Leslie Williams, Director, Sierra Small Business Development Center, hosted at Sierra Business Council, and Sir Optimus International at Truckee Donner.
Let's wait. Anybody else? All right, I'm going to give you an hour-long presentation about just legal updates. I know that's why you're all here. I'm just kidding. All right, we're going to go to Sugar Bowl this morning. We're going to start out with Bridget Levnavsky, and she is the president and CEO at Sugar Bowl, and let us know what to expect on the summit this winter.
I'm not sure what slides I sent him, but I think I sent something. Let's see.
Not sure who's running the tech. Not me.
I'll just talk, shall I? Well, kia ora, everybody. Good morning. There we go. Good job. You did it. It made a year.
I was saying good job to Raven.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were talking about me being here for a year. So,
Where is the play button?
So a year ago today, I'm living up on the resort in the village, and I had to traipse through the snow like up to here to get here on time. Very, very, very different today. So I thought I should start quickly with it. Can you hear me without the mic? Yes. You're really funny behind the pedestal. I should start quickly about the snow conditions. We have put our opening off to the 1st of December. We were trying to open on Friday, but we're still desperately making snow. I was just talking to my gorgeous ladies here, and luckily they've been under the inversion, we've been above it, and it's been really beautiful and warm on the Donner Summit. If anyone wants to come up and visit us, it's gorgeous up there, unfortunately, because we don't really want it to be so gorgeous. So it has been a year for me here, and it's been an absolute pleasure. It's really lovely to listen to everybody introduce themselves around the room and know you're in such a vibrant community of interested people, and I hope we keep you interested. I'm going to have a really different chat than probably Dee and Amy are, because our problems is kind of the opposite. And at Sugar Bowl, one of the things that we're working really hard on, and I'll come to at the end, is actually attracting more people, and I'll explain what that looks like. So a big piece of that for me has been this whole year is working with our team, and Chris Parker, our VP of Resort Development, is with me. He'll come up and help at some point, won't you, Chris? And John Slaughter, who's our Executive Director of Marketing and Sales, will come up and help me, won't you, John? I will. Okay, perfect. There you go. That's teamwork. But one of the things we had to do is really, really think about what our mission was and what we were about, because when I turned up, our strategy was to be uncrowded, and unfortunately that meant we didn't have enough people coming. So we had to really flip that on its head and think about how can we attract more people to Sugar Bowl. So a big piece was actually defining what Sugar Bowl is, and I found it surprisingly complex, and that's why this mission is quite complex, and I'm going to spend a bit of time explaining it to you. But as I explain it to you, I'll try and update what's going on up at Sugar Bowl this season and what's new. So the first, so the mission is ensuring our spirit lives on every day, for everyone, and forever. And I'm going to take you through that, and then I'll kind of update you with what we're doing. So the first thing was defining what that spirit is. What is the spirit of Sugar Bowl? You know when you feel the magic, but you can't quite work out how to bottle it and explain it to people? And we did a lot of work on this, and we came up with a whole lot of themes that defined who Sugar Bowl was, and then kind of I've organised them into 3 parts because I can't remember the 10 themes, so I can remember 3 things but not 10. But it helps me quite a lot here. And the first piece is this incredible heritage. 1939 it was started, first chairlift in California. And I think what I've learned out of, what we've learned out of that, and Chris is the historian, so he probably hates listening to me talk about this, is, what went on when Sugar Bowl was started, what was going on along the Californian coast, the socialites, the Walt Disneys, all the people that got together to kind of get on a train and come up to Sugar Bowl. And what we've been trying to do is capture that spirit, because it was super interesting, very stylish, very cool. It was the start of the modernism era. So modernism was coming to life, and then William Webster, of course, built our lodge, and it was a shocking, amazing building in its time, and it's something we're super proud of. So really leaning into that style and heritage and understanding those stories has been really important of us to discover what the magic of Sugar Bowl is. The second part of it is this really tight, connected community. So this has been quite incredible, and this is probably the bit that's hard. We've got a very, very complex community of villagers and shareholders, mainly from the Bay Area, from a wider season pass community, which is pretty much local Donna Summit and down towards Grass Valley and Nevada City, as well as into Truckee. And then we've got day visitors, and of course we all know that our day visitor market is actually shrinking as we get more and more people buying season passes. But one thing that's really important to our community is they want to feel like they've come home when they come to Sugar Bowl. They need to know the people's names in the lift queue. So those things are really fascinating. So we can't afford to let it get too big. We've got to keep that community vibe alive. And what's interesting about those bottom 2 pillars is they're contrasted wildly with how outrageous the skiing and riding is. So there is this really full-on appreciation and respect and love for hardcore skiing and riding. And I'm talking going backcountry, I'm talking events, I'm talking exhausting yourself by 11 o'clock so you can go and sit in the belt room bar. And there's a real pride to the villagers and the community on how hardcore it is and what they can go and do. And when we got the Palisades open last year, it was like medals were going on chests for which runs people did. It was so there's this real respect for it. And I know that's really deep in Palisades as well. It's part of this community in Truckee, and it's been an interesting journey for me, understanding that our market is pretty much California and they all ski really well. And that's a challenge when you're running a resort, a real challenge. It's not what the rest of the ski industry is like, is it, Dee? So that's what you're dealing with. So these people that love skiing, there's a huge respect. I was blown away by the dedication, commitment that the whole community has put into the Sugar Bowl Ski Team and Academy. including, I remember arriving on the first day going, oh my God, they've got a whole lift just for race training. How's this going to go down? But people love it. And people hop into a Christmas tree to sit there watching the kids and, you know, cheering the kids on and thinking about the future Olympians we're trying to build, which I really like. But it becomes really important when it's things like, okay, we've got to keep allowing uphill. We've got to keep allowing backcountry. And I've been spending some time down in John's office trying to work out how we're going to do that because it's not that easy anymore. But those things are super important. And then, of course, we have this amazing Nordic centre with the biggest Nordic centre in North America, which I'll talk to a little bit later. But one of the things that the villagers love, so you've got this styly sort of community coming out of the coast, then they really love skiing. They also love my new word, schlepping. Is that a word? Schlepping their way to their houses. Have I got it right? Yeah, good. Yeah, that's a new word. I've had to drop some of my old words and pick up some new words. So they love the schlep to their houses, right? So they love putting their cases and whatever on their trolleys and going across. The harder core it is, the better it is. But we need to make damn sure that their houses' steps are cut beautifully, that the lights are on, that they're warm, that they're gorgeous, that they're luxurious when they actually get there. So it's quite complex. So that's the spirit of Sugar Bowl. Now, our job is to work out how we keep that alive every day and for everyone and forever. So I'm quickly going to go through that without boring you too much. The first thing is, okay, every day. How are we going to deliver this every day? So I think about delivering guest experience under 4 pillars. And essentially it's a way that you can touch the guest experience. And the first one is through its people. So the people, how the people interact. And I won't put them in order, sorry. Through its places, so the way we decorate and create spaces, how clean and tidy they are, how good the grooming is, how good all that stuff is. Through the way we entertain or program, and then also through our digital space, our presence in the digital space. So we worked through this piece to understand how we were going to deliver on this every day. I don't really want to talk to you about our internal values. They're really personal to us. But what I wanted to do is start with people. How are we going to deliver the spirit of Sugar Bowl every day through our people? So we had a fantastic day. What was it, yesterday or the day before? Saturday, where we brought all of our people into one room and we worked through our values, training them and making them understand that spirit of Sugar Bowl. Some of the things I'm super proud of in the time that I've been here is we have an incredible executive team. When I arrived, we had no CFO, no CPO. What do we have? Chris, you were here? Yeah. John, you were here. These are the people that were here with me when we started, right? But we've added to that and we've built an incredible executive team of 9 execs, which includes obviously John in sales and marketing, Chris in resort development, adding in an executive director for infrastructure and asset to look after our facilities and the things that we have in place now. Executive Director of HR, obviously, and risk, which I'm trying to change to people and performance. It's taken me a wee bit of time, but I'll get there. A fantastic CFO and corporate affairs. Obviously, VP of operations, Jenna. She's been here for a really long time. She is amazing. I've spent an hour on the phone with her this morning already. Right, who have I missed? Stephen, who runs he's our Executive Director of the Sugar Bowl Ski Team and Academy. Hey? Go. Mark Beaver. VP of Hospitality, he was here too, so that was great. And we've added also an Executive Director of Sport, and I'll explain that a little bit later. Have I missed anyone? So that's a really amazing executive team. And I talk a lot about diversity. The most important thing for me with diversity is we have a group of people that think differently. And I would have to say that they think really differently, and it's fantastic. And we do have little rows occasionally, but generally they think really well. So that's everything to do with our people. So a lot of it is training our people to deliver on that spirit. When it comes to our places, some of you will remember this. Who sat in that room? Yeah, there we go. When it comes to our places, what we're trying to do, and Chris is leading a lot of this, is really make sure that we present our spirit in our places. Now, a piece of work that we're trying to put together is rebuilding of this. So at the moment we're redesigning the lobby area to look like it used to look, but obviously in an inspired way for today. So with the real modernism flair, we stand in there a lot of times and one of our things we say, what would William Worcester have done? because that's kind of the challenge to ourselves, is how do we keep that modernism and that spirit alive. So this is just a start of where we'll take this as we tell the story, and obviously this becomes really important as we move into resort development and what we're doing with the resort. This isn't just decor and decorations, this is also how do we present our places across the whole resort. So the work that's going into improving grooming, improving parks, and really focusing on rubbish and how we handle rubbish. Do you call it that, trash? And I shout out to the chamber, because the first thing I saw this morning was no single-use plastic. I was just blown away and so stoked with that, because it's kind of been a bit of a battle in my head since I've been here, because those of you that don't know, I spent a lot of time in the last resort I was in bringing it to landfill free, and it was an amazing journey. So how we present ourselves is really important, and you know, things like even uniform become really important. I am wearing one of our uniform tees this morning. Do you like it? I'll explain more about this later. The next piece is how do we entertain our people or program, and I'm actually going to start with hospitality, food and beverage. We've had to think really deeply as how do we deliver the spirit of Sugar Bowl in the way we deliver hospitality. So there's been a lot of work that's gone into that with the team. It's the challenge that every exec knows, okay, how am I going to deliver the spirit on this? And so they're really intentionally focusing on what they're doing. And one of the things we've done is hired an incredible Michelin chef out of San Francisco called Jason Landers. I just have this incredible passion for him, because where I've come from, food and the delivery of food is really spiritual. It's almost something that you must do when you're engaging in conversation, when you're engaging in a meeting. You always share kai or food together. And when it's delivered in a way that's quite spiritual with a lot of love in it. When Jason presents his food, I would call it exactly that. He stands up, he always talks to people why he's chosen these ingredients, where they've come from, and he puts love into the food. And if we can pass love and spirit through food, then we're absolutely smashing it out of the park. So I'm really excited about that. We will be having the dining room open at nights, and we really want to invite the Truckee community up at night to come across the old gondola, schlep a little bit to the lodge and enjoy the experience up at the lodge. But we will be opening that at night, and I can tell you our intention is to make it the best food and beverage experience in the Tahoe region, which I think we'll get there pretty quickly. So we're really excited about that. The other part of programming is the kind of events and things we put on. And also things like ski and snowboard school. I'm not going to dwell on it too much. I thought I'd just touch on things that are interesting. So when I look at Sugar Bowl and that love for sport, and there's this real respect for sport, we've really thought about the sports events we put on. So we are bringing back we're putting in 3 major events this year that we still need sponsorship for, just putting it out there, so we can pull it off. The more money we get, the better we can make it. Otherwise, it's going to be hard. The first one is the return of the Silver Belt Classic. And you can probably understand from what I've talked about before why that's so important, is to the return of the Silver Belt Classic, which was outrageous in its time. Outrageous. Off-piste GS down the Silver Belt was crazy. But we're also thinking about what should that look like today. So we will be delivering a large-scale freeride event in the Silver Belt. The second day will be what we're calling a shape-shifting day, where we'll take we'll let the athletes choose the terrain that we modify ever so slightly so that they can do the big tricks. And then the third day was what we're going to call the shapeshifter, which is us sort of dreaming up where we think the sport is going, which is exactly what the Silver Belt was back in its day. We'll then be hosting the Jib League, which is a European event that has its first stop in the US will be here at Sugar Bowl. It is an event that celebrates public parks and the public join in. And then it has about 50 influencers that comes with it, and it carries on the next day. And then the third event we're running is called the Donna Summit, which is a conference designed for athletes on the cusp of greatness. And those athletes I know for a fact that they're dealing with wellbeing issues because it's so hard on the cusp of greatness. And so we're going to be working with those young athletes and trying to help them with things like, how do they do their marketing and social media and their editing? How do we help them feel better about themselves? What other career opportunities are there? So that's what we'll be doing. We've organised it when we close, but I think we'll be open based on the fact we're not open now. I think the season's going to be later, so we'll work that out. One of the things I wanted to do with events at Sugar Bowl is make sure that we become a venue that hosts events that are all about athletes feeling good about themselves. They're not about points. They're not about trying to get on the next national team or get to the Olympics. They're all about athletes feeling incredible about themselves. So I want people to come through the gate and have a whole lot of fun. I want them to progress. We want them to progress. So we want to see the sport progress, new tricks. We want to capture the content to give to them as a gift so they can utilise it to help themselves become great. We want them to meet people, to network. All of that stuff is super important to us so that people go feeling really good about themselves, and our focus on events is about athlete wellbeing. So that's a little bit there. I'm going to let John do this bit because he'll do a much better job at it than me. But we're going to move into, I've talked about people, I've talked about places. John's going to talk about, I've talked about entertainment. John's going to talk a little bit about digital. Is that all right, John? Not too long, because I think I've talked too much already.
Yeah, it sounds like we got only a few more minutes. Sugar Bowl, at Sugar Bowl, we're going through a lot of rebranding. You may have noticed that there's a new mark that we have for the resort, and then also we're moving away from our message of uncrowded. And let me just preface that by saying that doesn't mean we're trying to pack the resort every single day and over capacity and everything like that. We'll still limit ticket sales. We're capping season pass sales. As a matter of fact, we got rid of the slightly restricted pass. But we wanted to move to something that's more emotive than just uncrowded. And so the gift that we're going to be delivering is happiness. And any of you that get out there and ski probably know how you feel when you're out there and you feel happy, you feel excited. And we want to encourage our employees to share the happiness along. And we want to make sure that every guest walks away happy and that our employees are empowered to make sure that they can deliver that happiness, whether that's something really big like making sure the lifts open on time on a powder day, to something small like dusting off their windshield. At the end of the day, those little touches of happiness are what's going to set Sugar Bowl apart. And so we are moving to our new campaign is going to be Ski Happy. Don't worry if you're a snowboarder, you can say Ride Happy instead, but this is going to be our mantra. When you get on the lift, go ski happy. At the end of the day, you're going to ski happy, whether you're at the end of a long week, you're at the bar at the end of the day, you're going to end the day skiing happy.
A happy place, hey?
In our happy place, yes.
Right, I'm going to skip through the rest. I was going to talk a little bit about how we do that for everyone. I've talked a little bit about the diversity of our community, which is important. This piece forever, I'm going to leave too, because I think everybody in this room understands what I'm talking about. It's about sustainability of our heritage and our stories, of our people, looking after our people, their well-being, and sustaining their employment. Our environment, obviously, and Chris is leading the environmental team. Super proud to see the work that we're doing in that space. Looking after our assets, and also looking after our finance, because we need to be making a profit so that we can keep investing back in the resort and maintaining it. And just to finish up, I thought I'd just do our key focuses for this year, just so everybody's really clear of this. The first thing is realise our capacity. That graph at the bottom, it's just graphical. It kind of cracks me up, because it's why people have to understand that we have to attract more people to Sugar Bowl. Our comfortable carrying capacity is 5,400 people. Okay, we didn't hit that last year. So you can sort of see how close we are, but it's the troughs that worry me. I don't really want to increase those peaks much more. Like, we will limit that, and John says we will never go over that comfortable carrying capacity, but it's the troughs that worry me, and it's really difficult running a business in a town that doesn't necessarily, or we don't necessarily have hotbeds. So people are coming in on Saturday and maybe Sunday. Saturday and maybe Sunday. So we've got to work out what we can do to smooth that. And I don't believe we can ever flatten it, which would be the perfect, but we can at least try and smoothen it. And that's by really driving midweek visitation. So we're really thinking about schools, our ski and snowboard school, beginners, all of that stuff that we can try and drive. And I refuse to believe that people can't come on weekdays with modern work environment. Like, so many people are working from home, they're working flexible hours, that we can actually start to change that curve with how the way the work week is. The second intentional shift, which is what I've talked about, is really, really intentional shift in our experience towards our mission. So you'll start to see that come out as you come up, and I've talked quite a bit about that before. And the last thing I didn't want to miss this is reigniting Royal Gorge. It's been a little bit slow. It hasn't been invested in very much. We've renamed it Royal Gorgeous after a beautiful facelift. We've brought the most incredible leader in, a guy called Thomas Miner, that please, if you get up there, come and meet him. He's so hungry to make this work, and he comes from a real sport background too, which is brilliant. And we've also reopened the upstairs bar area so that the Serene Lakes community have a little small watering hole that they can kind of join and come together. And we are having a party. I forgot what it's called. John, what's it called? Summit Station Social. We had another name, but people didn't like it. So Summit Station Social on Saturday night. What time? 4:30 to 6. Thank you, John. 4:30 to 6, where we will introduce Thomas Miner to the community. You are all welcome to come up and see the little bar up there. It's not going to be perfect because we're still working on it, but the idea is to really open up Royal Gorgeous and make it shine. So those are kind of our 3 areas. I think that's plenty of time from me. Sorry. Bye.
Bridget from Sugar Bowl, thank you. Appreciate it. And John, thank you as well. Nope. Look at you. Oh, on cue. CEO of the chamber. Here she is for her dog. We're going to hold questions till the end just because we have a short time window here. We're going to go next to Amy Oran, and she is the Vice President and General Manager of Northstar Resort. Welcome.
Thank you, Raven. Good morning. I am also in my happy place. I just forgot to wear my happy place t-shirt. Thank you. It's great to be here. It's great to see everyone. We were reminiscing this morning about this day last year, and I remember having a conversation with Jessica. Are we going to be able to get there with the snowfall? As this group knows, it started snowing November 1st, and it just really didn't stop. And when I was looking through notes to several welcome backs, whether it was in community or with our team, we had kind of a theme last year. It was our 50th anniversary at Northstar. It was my first year with Vail Resorts and with Northstar. We had a lot going on for our 50th. We had a new chairlift, and our mantra last year was, it's going to be a year like no other. And every time I see that in notes, we all laugh a little bit. And when we replay some of the footage of last year, you get mixed emotions on a year like no other. So it was our 50th. It was an incredible year, and shared with this community last year, we had a primary intention of really coming back to full operations last year. And Northstar had been pretty impacted through the pandemic and through the labor shortage following the pandemic. And it was really important to us to get to full operations. And full is an understatement with the snow that we had. We had longest season on record, most operating days within a season. And it just felt great. It felt great to be back up on the mountain. It felt great to be back up in the village. We reopened 7 retail locations in the village last year. We added 3 additional locations and really brought the village back to life. And I bring this up because it's hard to just move into this year without reflecting on the incredible 50th that was last year. We got to celebrate with a lot of people in this room just the heritage of Northstar and the legacy. We had an amazing time with some of our founders in really, following the journey that brought Northstar through its first 50 years. And I am more excited about year 51 and the next 50 years ahead. And am I just advancing right here? There we go. Have a lot of great pictures of snow, so hopefully this should manifest something ahead for us. But as excited for year 51 for a lot of reasons, and a big piece of that is just the continued momentum out of last season, just being such an incredible year to bring everything back to life. And our team is thrilled moving into this next season. Couple things I just want to really key on today, and I think it's not lost on this group that we had a lot of conversations with our community last year. We hosted throughout the summer some community open houses, and we heard a lot of themes, and I think that the number one theme that we are really hearing from our community over this last year is around just solving to the congestion issues that we have in this region and that we experienced deeply throughout the region last year. And so starting with just our circulation strategy, because this is something that is so important to us here at Northstar, and we've spent a lot of time over this last year just evaluating how we can solve to what is a critical need in our community. And the core priority and the core goal for us is really around improved circulation. And to that, we have some really clear goals to solve to the circulation challenges that we have. The first is really, it's just fewer cars on the road, and more people per car is paramount to solving to the opportunities that we have. Key to Northstar, we've all had to solve to our uniques within our community, and a key for Northstar is faster load-in times. We have less of a capacity issue and more of a speed of getting people off the highway and into our lots. To enable that, a key piece of this is being able to load all of our lots simultaneously as opposed to sequentially. And if you've been to Northstar, you've seen, we load one lot at a time. So we're pulling, a third of people off the highways that we could if we were loading all of our lots simultaneously. So that's a big change for us this year. We've seen a similar strategy at one of our sister resorts, very similar program with very real impacts. And the third is just elongated arrival and departure times, which I can speak to the tactic to that a little bit. So to achieve these goals, the tactics are really rooted in a parking program that is a paid reservation program on peak days. So weekends and holidays, it's 56 days a year. We've partnered with Interstate Parking. They do a lot of large scale parking with stadiums. And they've been a partner for us in designing this strategy. A big piece of the reservation is you're getting a spot. This is a big upgrade to the guest experience, but you also know you can come at your time, on your time. Everyone is listening to us when we're saying, get here early, and everybody is getting on the road at the same time. If you know you have a reservation, I, for one, I'm going to go to the new coffee shop and I'm going to take my time to get to the resort. And this is a key piece of the reservation program, is elongating that arrival time. And this is something we've seen very successful at Park City, that we trialed a similar program last year. A second solve to this is carpool incentives. So if you want to park in our Village View lot, if you have 4 or more people per car, you get a free space and you get a reservation. We saw about 70% adoption rate for carpool at the trials at some of our other resorts. So community was responding and changing behavior based on the carpool incentives. And another key piece of this for us is lengthened shuttle services. So they're starting much earlier in the day. They're going till 10 p.m. at night. And our goal is to really kind of keep people in the village a little bit longer. We have this vibrant village that we've done a lot of investment in, and we want people to stay and take their time and get on the road a little bit later and elongate those arrival times. And just want to reiterate that there are many different options for parking at Northstar this year, and a lot of options to park for free. Castle Peak lot, free every day. If Village View is where you want to park, there are also many ways to park for free. Just think of the 3 C's. Come midweek, come after 1 o'clock, carpool. Those are the ways to park for free, and Castle Peak every day. Couple other things, just when in talking about access and circulation, we also have an opportunity to solve to, as people arrive, getting their ticket and getting their pass and wanting to eliminate any need to get into a line. We launched this year a new app that allows you to use your phone as your pass. And we've been testing this throughout the summer, throughout this fall, and going really well. And we've seen really high adoption thus far. You can still get a ticket if you want. I know people love to have that media collect the whatever 50 some passes that you have throughout your life and your career. But we're eliminating the need to get in a line. So my Epic app upgraded, works really slick. A couple things we shared with this community last year our goals around village vibrancy. And in addition to what we brought to life last year with our new retail locations, we added a couple of new restaurants. Anybody been to the new Wild Pine restaurant? Still relatively new. We got it open in March of last year, and new family dining right on the rink. It's a year-round signature restaurant for us, and it still has that new restaurant feel, so feels very new for this year. Another addition, hopefully you've seen some content around it, and what you're seeing here is some of the creative of a new restaurant that we've opened called VU. It's in the old Starbucks space around the rink, and we had an opportunity to, bring this into our owned brand and own location. And the name VU has a lot of meaning and intention for us. So it's born out of our original chair, which is rendezvous, which also means a place of connection and a place of gathering. And I know rendezvous is a local favorite. And it was really critical to us that this was an emblematic space for us of welcoming and inclusion. And the mural that you see here, this is artist Skywalker. I've been a fan for a long time. We gave him some very, just a high-level direction of we want this to be a place of connection and meaning. And it came together in such a way that is representative of the next 50 years for us in growing the sport in a welcoming and inclusive way. So hopefully we'll see you at VU. It's open right now. We'll do a grand opening on Friday just to welcome in our community and share just this amazing space and visual and feel. A couple other things I just want to share with this group around our village vibrancy. We have another new addition that I am just so excited to share with this group. Over this last year that I've been in the role, I've had a lot of conversations with the community and understanding what are the needs and what are the gaps and how can we be a partner to meet some of those gaps. And we hosted a community roundtable this summer, and one of the key pieces of feedback was around the need for childcare. And we are just honored to be partnering with Little Gems of the Sierra, a local school. This is their 5th location. And we're going to be opening a childcare in the village. It's one of our larger spaces that has been empty for a while. And we've donated the space to Little Gems of the Sierra to partner to bring 52 spots of a childcare facility right in our village. Our teams are having to travel far to find quality childcare, and we're so excited about this addition opening December-ish. December is our target. We're shooting for December. Really excited about that. And just want to share I've been in this community for a long time, formerly working for the brand of Woodward. In 2017, one of my now colleagues presented to this community an intention around commitment to zero. And I'm looking at Mary in the back because she's been such a partner in helping me understand all the moving pieces with commitment to zero. And I remember in 2017, as this was presented, I was in the audience and thinking, this is incredible. This is such a big goal. I cannot wait to see where this goes. And so it's an honor to stand up here and speak to commitment to zero. This is across all of Vail resorts, and to share just the incredible progress that I, for one, was following very closely before I joined Northstar and joined Vail Resorts. But the commitments are really clear, and the goal was by 2030 to have 0 net emissions, 0 waste to landfill, and 0 net impacts to forest habitat. These are huge goals, and they've inspired really huge thinking and huge projects. And really excited that over the last, since 2017, we've actually been ahead of schedule on some of the key goals. The one that we are most proud of is 0 net emissions, which we reached last year, 5 years ahead of the original goal. Net emission really through wind and solar investments that basically offset all of our 37 resorts in the U.S. Waste to landfill, as you know, this is tough. We've achieved 50%, and we know the next 50% is the harder part. And so a lot of planning with some great partners in the room to achieve that goal. So really excited just to share that this progress is something that our team just values so much, and we're proud of the progress that we have made. I'm just going to put this up here just because it's so beautiful and cannot wait to be up there. Hardy shared that he flew over Northstar last night and saw snow. Let's just say that. There is some snow up there. But our original opening target was the 17th. Didn't quite make that, but we are going to be opening this Thursday off of the Vista lift and hopefully expanding beyond that. But can't wait to see everybody up on the slopes this winter, up in our village this winter. Come join us for the grand opening of VU on Friday. Thank you.
Thank you, Amy from Northstar. And up next, we have Dee Byrne from Palisades Tahoe. She's the president and COO.
Good morning.
Oops, sorry, behind you.
How much time do I have?
You have
20 minutes. Did
20
they take
minutes.
It all?
No. Amy actually saved you some time, so you've got 20 minutes, full 20.
Hi, everybody. Really nice to be with you this morning. I am so jealous, Amy, of the childcare. If I could get that in Olympic Valley, we would have had it 10 years ago, actually, when I was on a project team trying to figure it out. It just takes unique space, and we just don't have it yet, but it's definitely on the list. And congratulations, both gals, to the awesome work that they're doing. You know, so much, Bridget, of what you shared is just resonates with us, and you indicated that about Palisades and our culture. So many similarities there. And I have to say, it's kind of nice that you're not going to be advertising no crowds. Yeah, we're not interested in growing weekend visitation. We're very much on the same mission to smooth out visitation, fill in the midweeks, fill in the non-peak, that sort of thing. So I also joked with Amy on the way in, hey, should we just stand up and do the parking presentation together? Would it be easier and more efficient? Because so much of what Northstar is doing, we're doing as well. So down arrow, there it is. Or side arrow?
Side arrow.
Side arrow. So just a few things, a little more on the tactical versus the strategic this time. I'd love to talk to you about our reframed values and mission and purpose statement. I think I did that last year. Can't quite remember. But in any case, again, love that stuff. We're all about it as well. But talk a bit about parking, give an update on employee housing, some of the new dining stuff. World Cup. How many volunteered for World Cup last year? Really? That's it, Jake? Thank you, Jake. Come out, the rest of you. We need you. And some on-mountain improvements. So I don't need to repeat because really Amy framed it. She framed the need, and it's kind of ironic. We got called into a community meeting last February. We pretty much, the two of us at Kings Beach, I don't know, were you guys folks at that meeting? Yeah, there was a pretty big outrage about what was going on, right? And what are we doing to solve it? And so we've had our heads down since that time. And I think we walked into that meeting and we both said, hey, we're committed to doing something to make a difference. And so now we're delivering on that. And we really need the help of the community. You know, anytime we make a change at Palisades, you see a lot of the haters come forward on social. You know, nobody likes change. We understand that. I don't like to make reservations either, other than they give me a peace of mind. So I just would ask you to please help the haters come across to the fact that this is as much a community play as it is a guest experience play for us. So similar to what Amy shared, we've vetted it thoroughly across our industry as well as national parks, events, so on and so forth. So we have high confidence that it's going to work and that it won't be as much a pain in the ass as perceived. Okay, so weekends and holidays, reservations are required. There is a paid component out there right now. You can buy a reservation for $30 any day, any of these 46 days where reservations are required. If you want to buy in advance, you can hold up to 10 of those at a time, or you can wait. You can wait until next Tuesday when we go live on the 28th for reservations for the following weekend, December 2nd and 3rd. And we'll be launching the inventory for free every Tuesday at noon and at 7. This is the same program we see at Alta. I'm not sure about Park City, how they're managing their inventory, but, and now I'm going to forget which other resorts are doing the launch, but Crystal and our own company, et cetera, and it works. So again, lion's share free, but you have to have a reservation. You don't want to worry about it, buy one now, and you'll be set. Patrick, our PR manager, is here. Patrick, anything else that I should mention on the?
I mean, definitely you nailed it around the head. Just make sure that it's really simple. It's honestly just changing people's behavior, right? We deal with this so much within the local area. You know, we don't want this to be backed up and backed up. Just changing people's behavior. We got to do it. We got to come together as a team, a community, in the industry.
The other thing I'll add, we'll do park and ride from the high school and from 64 acres like we did for World Cup. We will do that for World Cup. If we see success and with the reservation program and an elimination of gridlock on 89, then we're working on standing up park and ride every weekend to augment transportation. We're just not there yet. Employee housing, Jason Hansford, who's in the room, thank you, Jason, helped us to purchase a couple of properties recently. I won't go into the details here, but between that purchase and our master lease program, we've gone from 3 years ago, when I stepped into this job, I had 38 beds. And now I have 240. And I'm endeavoring to, yeah, thank you. And so we stood up a whole housing department. I've got 4 people dedicated to it. We're really investing in this. You know, we want our seasonal staff to have a place to bed down and be safe. Committed to that. Into the fun guest experience stuff, I actually took a couple slides out here, but the way we frame things and look at how we deliver service and experience is really through 5 stakeholder groups. So our employees, our guests, our community, our planet, and our financial stakeholders. And so I had a whole presentation on all of these buckets, but I streamlined it. So this is really tied directly to the guest experience. We've heard loud and clear that we need more variety and healthier options at Palisades Tahoe, and so that's what we're endeavoring to do. We're also sprucing up Gold Coast Lodge, our main lodge on the Palisades side. We've put about $4 million into a refresh, and in particular to opening the 39-degree level, which is our base level, where we still ski. We will still feed ski team and schools, but we're going to share that space with the public and divide it and open up the actual cafeteria and the stairwell in the building so you can go up and down and access some more bathrooms and that sort of thing. So that lodge is, talk about super funky. You know, it's just really challenging. So I had a $12 million plan, I got 6. You know, so $12 million, we would have had this beautiful staircase on the outside and escalator, right? But that didn't happen. What else? We're refreshing Rocker. We'll have some new options there. We finished the Alpine Kitchen, which is the container kitchen adjacent to the chalet. We actually got the hood in there, and we can actually cook in there this year. So for those of you that may not know, Jason was on my team as our development lead, and he moved on, but he's back with us teaching skiing, thank you. So hence my reference to Jason. And back to World Cup, what a weekend, what an event. We didn't know we were going to actually run the race until an hour before. We were sweating bullets, you know, and at the end of it, the FIS reported back to us, the governing body of the race, International, reported back to us that it was the best men's technical race in the series last year, despite the soft snow. So they wanted to bring it back. I was like, no way, not on the second weekend of President's Week. And they said, yes way. And so I said, oh, okay, we'll do it again. But in the future, we've got to move it off out of President's Week. But anyway, super cool. Very much like Sugar Bowl expressed, we're all about athletic development, youth development, and promoting that. So, more on mountain and in the village. 5 new snowcats, 4 new winch picks. 2,000 feet of snowmaking, finished snowmaking up exhibition, added a bunch of fan guns, got a new store in the village. And can you guys read this a little bit? Patrick, you want to talk about what we're doing with the app and Palisades today?
Yeah, so it's going to be pretty great. So the Palisades today is going to have, your itinerary, where to go, what time, all the events that are happening in real time, and then also kind of just giving parking updates as well. Hopefully there's not as many with our paid parking, with our reserve parking program. But once again, it's going to be great information in real time, where to go, when, and just kind of how to build out your day.
Thank you. And Mountaineer, we've expanded hours and times between bases, Alpine and Palisades base, and within Alpine community. And I don't have those hours off the top of my head, I apologize, but Joy Doyle and the team there, they just continue to expand and do a better and better job, so we're really proud of that. What we need next is for it to connect directly to TART Connect, and so we put a proposal forward to do that, and we're not quite there yet as a community, but really looking forward to the day when you can just seamlessly move between micro vans. I wanted to end with community support. I rolled this out last year. I don't know that anybody tapped into it, but our community foundation through Alterra is here to serve not just our employees, but the communities where we operate. And so if you know folks who have a financial hardship and need some funding, please just write to me or call me, and I'll route you into our foundation. We granted $155,000 worth of grants this last season into our community. I don't know how many of those are employees or if they're actually the community. That's private information, but really proud of the work that the team at Alterra is doing in complementary to the resorts. As well, just a little, I guess, unabashed share that we Palisades Tahoe, we provide about $1.7 million in-kind and cash donations in our community. I've got a team, I've got a philanthropy team dedicated to that commitment, and we're really proud to participate with you folks in a lot of those efforts. Laura. That's it. I just want to say thank you. Last year we also talked about cooperation and safety and our safety. Our collisions declined 70% last year. Don't know how much of that was because of the snow. Snow kind of naturally slows people down, but we're doing great work, I think, keeping ourselves safe on the mountains. So thank you for that participation. Again, thank you for the participation and your patience. I've heard that it takes about 3 weeks in these parking programs to get our guests trained up, and we're going to be very guest friendly in this process. Certainly we have an enforcement program in place for violations, and unfortunately you have to have that in this day and age, but we'll be very friendly on that front as we ease into this. But it'll take probably until Christmas till we work out the wrinkles, and so I would just again ask for your patience, cooperation, and really appreciate that. That's it. Raven?
Thank you. Yeah. Dee Byrne, Palisades Tahoe, thank you. And she saved everybody some time. So how about questions? Questions? Anybody for any of the panelists? Yes.
I just had a question about how.
Yeah, maybe I'll
how is it gonna
stand.
Look, you're in your car and you're driving to the mountain. So where are you monitored for this reservation process?
So we're in the same vendor called Interstate, and it's license plate reading. And so we have designated carpool lots. Ours is 3 or more. But other than those lots, as a guest, you can park wherever you want. And then the enforcement team goes around and they read the license plate. If it comes up green, that means the person has a reservation. It comes up red, that means they didn't. And we go from there on the enforcement piece.
Yeah, I think that nails it on the head. Definitely like putting a checkpoint in would take us backwards somewhere
Right,
to
that's what I'm
stop.
saying. So you get to park and you get to go on the mountain,
Yep.
but you could potentially be in violation.
You don't need to print anything, you don't need to show
towed?
anything.
Would there be a tow? Is that what you were planning on?
There will be citations.
Okay.
And in our case, we haven't actually compared notes on enforcement.
Okay.
In our case, it's an escalating program, just like we have the conduct standards policy and program now, and so slap on the wrist, then it's.
Okay, so that's what I was just wondering, where the flow, everybody still gets to get in. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, there's no checkpoint.
Okay, thank you.
Other questions? Yeah, Judy.
Sugar Bowl John, will you be extending the Tahoe Truckee Unified School District $200 no blackout season pass till December 1st?
Yes, so thank you for that.
That is a great, if you've got a kid, it's $200.
Yeah, so any kids that are going to school in the district get a season pass, unrestricted season pass for $199. And we're gonna stop selling that on opening day, so that's one benefit of us extending, pushing out our opening day, is got one more week to buy, so get online and grab that.
The others? Yes, back.
Yeah, would it make sense to incentivize taking the bus? I mean, right now, if you drive your car and say you ski and snowboard, you can leave one of them in the car. If you had check boxes for extra layers, goggles on a sunny day that gets overcast, places where you could put it. That check box, if you had a check room and you say 40 spaces, the size of the check room that you could put in those 40 spaces would actually be huge. And you could actually incentivize it with somebody that takes your bus, say, from the Bay Area. 12 days is a big year. And so if you get 12 days, maybe you can get in a drawing for a free pass. I mean, there's all kinds of incentives that you could do to get people to take the bus. And of course, the big problem that would cause is parking around where the bus stop is. And that's where the tying Tart Connect into the bus would really make sense. But you know, you could offer free hot chocolate and the check room, but that check room would be huge. I mean, is there a compelling reason for not doing that?
I mean, you led your question with would it make sense, and very much. I think you present some, very simple solutions, and I think these are all everything's on. I mean, these are on the table as options. One of the pivots that supports the program this year is what we used to have as overflow lots that we would, we had a lot at the airport that we would use for overflow and, service with shuttles. Those have now pivoted to be carpool meetup places, and I think that's a next solve to the community as well. But I think incentivizing behavior of, using public transit is very compelling.
We are working with bus companies out of the Bay Area, and they've come back post-COVID, in particular last year. We're also working on standing up a program out of Reno for guest transportation at this point. Don't have anything to share on that, but as Amy said, certainly, what we've learned is that people don't want to see.
Forgive me, you wouldn't have to do them
We've definitely got a whole list of action items, workflow that we're looking at. I don't know, Hardy, if you want to talk about the community, and because we really need to participate with our counties in this HOV endeavor. And I'll just say that at Palisades Tahoe, two things, I guess. We do have a carpool incentive program for employees, so we are actually giving in-resort credit, $20 to the driver, $10 to each passenger on these 46 days. So we're starting with our own employees, and willing to look at and go beyond that. And we do have day lockers, and we have a kind of a basket storage or overnight locker situation.
Park and ride is extended till 10 p.m. Amy, you were talking about longer hours. Does it start earlier this year? What time? Because you didn't mention that.
Specifically, shuttles out of the Castle Peak lot. We're starting earlier. Hilda, you may have to fact check me. 7 a.m.
7 a.m.
Starting at 7 a.m. going till 10 p.m.
Not from the high school. That's all on property only.
We are not shuttling from the.
You're not shuttling from the high school, so that is only on property only. Then these shuttles.
The shuttles, correct? Yeah.
The park and
We're
ride.
going to shuttle during World Cup, just like we did last year from the high school and from Tahoe City 64 acres.
Mhm.
I think the first one during World Cup was at 6 a.m., 6 a.m. or 6:30, I'm not quite sure. So we've definitely got that programmed in. In terms of expanding to these other weekends, we're looking at it. We have not confirmed that we're going to do it yet. We're going to see how the traffic responds or the guest responds, and if we eliminate the traffic off of 89. So, because what we found when we ran Park and Ride 2 years ago, literally on peak days, I'm not lying, we had 35 guests one season. And I'm like, this is ridiculous, because nobody wants to. You don't want to get on public transportation, do you, and sit on the road? You'd rather be in your own vehicle. So that's. But I think that people will be willing to do HOV again when they see that bus or that van can get through.
We'll get it done.
Again, Hardy, I'm gonna look over at our supervisor and see if you want to talk about anything about what we're working on.
I think essentially what hasn't been described here today is this ongoing effort. I think last fall I jumped on the radio with JD and talked about traffic and congestion, how to solve it. Look forward to doing it again, but since that time we basically spent, I think, 5 meetings, super tough conversations, candid conversations, but tough conversations about how to fix the regional congestion problem. It is not local, it's regional. The town of Truckee, Jen, her staff, Sugar Bowl, Palisades, and Northstar have come to the table really to work through that. Caltrans and CHP are in active conversations with both counties, Placer and Nevada County. So stuff is happening. There's a multitude of solutions, and we can talk more about that or jump on our website to see some of the updates I've posted. But I commend you for being part of those meetings. You showed up and been part of that discussion.
And I commend him for leading the discussion and actually, not just talking about it, but trying to actually make some change and get some stuff done.
All right, I'm going to hold the rest of the questions. Will you go stay afterwards, maybe?
No, I'm running.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
All right, we're going to open it up for stump speeches. Do we have any stump speeches? Hardy.
I just want to mention briefly, if you've been following the warming shelter, our warming shelter closed here in Truckee. Nevada County, Placer County, and the town of Truckee are working on a solution. We have a CCC call. It's going to be a community-oriented call on the warming shelter and homeless services specifically. Jan and I co-chair with Supervisor Gustafson, that homeless working group, and I'm going to invite everybody here to jump on that call. It is invitation only, but you can reach Mandy Stewart. Mandy, if you want to get on that call, please send an email to Mandy. We'll get you in on that, and I want to hear your voice in creating solutions around that homeless problem that we're facing. That's December 6th, 10 a.m.
Thank you. Yes.
Quick update on the pickleball project. The big exciting news is that in the last year we've raised just shy of $1 million. Thanks to a big grant from Marge's Camp Foundation that really has brought us to great to awesome. And still fundraising to do. We have bricks and pavers, 225 members in the pickleball club. It's growing. People are so excited. Please join us. Tell your friends. And right now we have a $10,000 matching grant until the end of the year. So every dollar you give gets doubled, which is super. So thank you for everybody's support and spread the word.
Thank you.
Thursday, December 14th, we're having our coat drive again, our annual coat drive. Clear those closets, bring them down. Mr. D on Christmas morning takes them down to Reno, to 4th Street, to all the shelters and delivers them on Christmas morning. And the outpour of people that come out of the community to take our jackets from us, overwhelming on a Christmas morning. For someone to commit that, to do that, it's huge. So stop by, radio station Thursday, December 14th, 7 a to 7 p.
Thank you. We all know we have way too many coats in our closets. So.
Truckee Insider Guide. I published this for the Truckee Donner Chamber of Commerce, and I do still have room for advertising. If you have a message you want to get out before the holidays, please see me.
Hi everybody, good morning. My name's Allie. I am representing Bar of America today. I do their marketing, and we are wanting to encourage all of you guys, if you don't want to do dishes, we will take care of them for Thanksgiving and provide you Thanksgiving dinner. We are also doing a coat drive and Toys for Tots drop-off in the restaurant all the way through mid-December. So I am newer to the Truckee community, that's why I wanted to come and introduce myself and say hi. So if anyone wants to chat marketing, special events, reach out to me. I would really love to get to know more of the community. So thanks for welcoming me today, and come say hi at Bar of America.
Thank you.
Yes. I would like to plug Target Connect, as the gentleman mentioned. That really is our ability to really feed into the bigger mass transit system that Placer County operates in terms of the larger buses. So please use that service. Last year it was not town-wide at this time. Last winter it was broken up into Glenshire, Tyler Donner, and then other areas within the commercial core. So this year it is town-wide. It's free to the rider. It starts at 6:30 in the morning, so please schedule accordingly. The thing about Target Connect and microtransit, the more people use it, the longer the wait times can be. So please let Target Connect be your first and last chair. So,
thank you.
Yes,
great service.
Yes.
Nothing further, we'll do our door prizes. Oh. Speak up a little.
Library, and I invite everyone to come see our newly refreshed library. We're out in Canada. We have great children's, teens, and adult programming, so please stop by and see our new space.
It does look good. I was there with my daughter for the face painting. Sweet, yes.
All right, we were going to start with a return ticket to Good Morning Truckee and a Truckee tote bag, and that will go to the lucky holder of 530048. 048. Okay, congratulations. Okay, next up is a $25 gift card to Grizzly Menswear, which is downtown. That will go to 530088. This is a $15 sustainable Visit Truckee Tahoe gift card, which can be used at a whole bunch of locations, 64 locations, I believe, downtown. 530074. 074. Now, apropos to the presentations, we're going to get into some ski passes, lift tickets. So we will start with 2-day lift tickets to Tahoe Donner Downhill or Cross Country Center. That will go to 530072. 072. There you go. All right. Last but not least, one day lift ticket to Palisades Tahoe and a Palisades Tahoe hat, going to 530078. 078. Thank you everybody for coming out this morning. Thank you to our presenters. We're looking forward to a great season, and hopefully we get some white stuff falling from the sky soon. See ya next month. Oh yes, enjoy the holidays.